Welcome back to the Cardinal Report. With us always to close things out is North Cenrtal College Sports Information Director, Clark Teuscher. Clark, thanks for checking in.
Thanks for having me.
The men's track and field team was in action this weekend at the Dr. Keeler Invite. No team scores at the meet, but still a great way for the Cardinals to get in gear for nationals in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's a philosophical shift from most of the rest of the season where you don't have to worry about the team anymore. It's all about individuals and trying to get people to nationals. And, not a ton of performances that might, advance somebody up higher in the national rankings, but they did have a few and some solid performances by guys who had already claimed spots in the meet.
There's a couple guys that are trying to get into nationals, but a guy who probably won't get into nationals but still had a nice showing at the meet is freshman Adam Widener in the shot put, as he was just 2.5 inches short of a freshman record. That's got to look good for the future of the throwers for the men's team.
Yeah, this part of the year is when you tend to see the freshman throwers kind of improve and finally get used to the larger implements that are being thrown in college. The high school ones, the shot put, gets 4 pounds heavier from high school to college. So now that they've had a chance to work with it for a year and kind of get used to it, you're starting to see a little more improvement across the board.
And a couple guys have been firing on all cylinders basically all season. Long distance guys, Roger Klein and John Crane, who both turned in great performances, one in the 5,000, one in the 10,000. It seems that one of those two guys could be up there in a couple weeks as well.
Yeah, Roger appears to be in very good shape right now. He just missed the personal best time that he ran at the Drake Relays back in April, but really had a strong race. And if he's able to get into the nationals, he may be in a position to do something and get on the podium. John is a legitimate national championship contender in the 10,000 and the 5,000. Probably won't race this week. Just a chance last week to get one more good race in, and then shut it down and rest up for nationals.
Is John, planning on running both of those? Because that's a feat that is definitely difficult to handle.
It's one that we've had guys do in the last few years and seem to be pretty successful in that. Kyle Brady and Michael Spain in particular were able to finish very highly in both events. And with the amount of training that these guys do, a couple of times this year, John has run the 10,000 in a meet and then come back and run the 1,500 better than anybody else on our team the very next day. So I don't think stamina is necessarily the concern there. I think as long as there are no health issues that pop up in the next couple of weeks, I would expect to see him on the starting line for both events.
And the next couple of weeks are really what it's all about, because the Nationals right around the corner. Cardinals right now sitting in 7th, but those rankings could take a big shake-up next week because a lot of these meets that are going on, as you said, are really individual based.
Yeah, it's really tough to call that this far out, just because of everybody's trying to get those quality marks this last weekend, not just us. So you never know who's going to step up and who's going to fall back. So the best thing you can do is just focus on your own performance, and that's what I'm sure the message will be to the team this week.
And there were some quality marks on the women's side as well, as they were competing in the Dr. Keeler Invitational as well. Ebony Stallworth in the shot put, again breaking her own school record and just trying to move up the ranks nationally.
Yeah, that was a significant season's best for her. Got her in position to possibly get a bid. She probably needs to improve a little bit just to be sure of that. You never want to be the one that gets knocked out because you had a poor meet the last week of the season. Liz Composto in the pole vault continues to improve. Got over 13 feet for the first time. Sitting 3rd in the country right now. That's one of those events that when you get to nationals, it never seems to play out the way it's seeded. So if she's able to get somewhere close to that at the national meet at UW La Crosse, you never know what might be able to happen.
Yeah, just the 3rd Cardinal in history to clear that 13-feet barrier. But we saw it sort of in the men's pole vault in the indoor season, where anything can happen once you get to that national meet. But Liz definitely, obviously, with a shot to be on top of the podium. Well,
the two that rank ahead of her in North Cenrtal history were both national champions. So, she's definitely at that ability level that you have to be to contend to win one. Whether she actually does that, we'll have to wait and see.
And a couple other Cardinals that are vying for spots in nationals. Jocelyn Redlinsky, who was able to make it in the indoor season. Mandy Coglanese is hoping to try and move up the ranks to get in there as well in the 400-meter hurdles.
Yeah, Mandy was in the meet last year. She needs to improve a little bit. She's kind of on the bubble right now, on the outside looking in. So she'll be looking to pop a big one this weekend. Jocelyn's competing in the heptathlon this week. We had day one on Tuesday. And she was about 68 points ahead of what she was on the first day at the conference meet when she broke the school record. So if she has a good second day competition on Wednesday, you could see her in the field in the heptathlon at nationals.
And obviously still one more week to go, so things could shake up. But any other Cardinals you think we might see in the national meet on the women's side? Lena Baker possibly in the hammer throw? Yeah,
Lena is another one that's in one of those last spots right now. Her improvement has come, in large chunks this year. So she's going to be looking to get one last one to get herself into that meet. And Alana Ainsley in the 100-meter dash looks like a pretty solid contender for a spot at nationals as well. That was the time she turned in at Benedictine right before conference started. So she hasn't quite come back to that yet, but looking like a pretty solid candidate to get in the 100 as well.
Well, it should be an exciting next couple weeks leading up to nationals. Clark, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That does it for this week's Cardinal Report, but make sure to join us next week's show when we preview the NCAA Division III Men's and Women's Outdoor Track and Field Championships. I'm Marc Dahlquist. We'll see you here next time on the Cardinal Report.